These are the 10 worst Kingdom Hearts boss battles in the series. A few weeks ago, we created a video discussing some of the series' hardest, but then it had me thinking about those that are just so incredibly frustrating. Those boss battles that leave you with a sense of emptiness after you complete them. See, there's a huge difference between a bad boss and a hard one. A hard one will reward you by learning the enemy combos and improving with each attempt. I look at Sora in Kingdom Hearts 3 as the most difficult out there, and he has one of the cruelest movesets in the game. Do you remember the move where he literally snatches the Keyblade from your hands and just starts beating you with it? Finally clearing him was such a euphoric feeling. Okay, that was a gamble of a lifetime. That was a gamble and it paid off. Jesus Christ. In this video, all the fun and satisfaction is over. We're going to be taking a look at the worst and most annoying boss fights out there, where certain enemies have such broken and exploitable moves. You feel like you're just scraping by just to keep the story moving forward. It's even worse when they're complicated and annoying. They're blocking out their progress due to their slow and repetitive nature. One of my favorite parts of Kingdom Hearts is how you're rewarded for being creative with their combos, although these bosses just throw that idea right out of the window. And in a series where boss battles are among some of the strongest in gaming, the ones on this list really fall flat on their face. Prepare to bring in the pain. These are the 10 worst Kingdom Hearts boss battles in the series. But first, do me a big favor and hit that like button. While you're down there, please let me know which boss you hate fighting the most. I know everybody has that one boss that has caused them so much trauma. That experience is stuck with them for the rest of their lives. Let's get down to the gritty. In Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, players are able to explore a new location known as the Cavern of Remembrance. Here, Sora is able to put his dry form abilities to the test to dive deeper into the cave. At the very end, Sora will be met with the Garden of Assemblage. In this location, you'll be able to face off against all 13 members of the organization. These data versions are a lot stronger than the original counterparts and offer new movesets when compared to the old. While everyone still maintains a lot of the same characteristics, Datademix is the one that hurts me the most in this bunch. He still uses his instrument to summon water clones for Sora to deal with. If Sora is unable to clear them within the timer, then the match is over. Although in the data version of this fight, you'll need to be extra careful. Once you bring Datademix down to his last bit of HP, he will send out a flurry of clones. Although on his final attack, you'll only have 30 seconds to get rid of 99 water clones. It's often that they'll run away from Sora, making it easier to miss his attacks. And it's common to have just 1 or 2 clones left running around, only to have that timer run out and completely kill you.
I'm afraid our time's up.
Nani?
It's not even Datademix being difficult or tough or brutal or anything like that. He just makes it so the clock runs out before you have enough time to strike them all. There is a way to clear out all of these clones by entering Wisdom form and spamming fire, but this seems like one of the very few options of handling this. You need to really be on top of it by making sure Sora doesn't run out of any MP by using ethers. With the rest of the data organization, you could eventually beat them just by using the Keyblade and blocking their attacks. With Datademix, if you don't clear those clones, then you're done for. I always hated going back to this one when booting up Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. At the end of Kingdom Hearts 1, you fought a giant boat version of Ansem and saved all the worlds. In Kingdom Hearts 2, you teamed up with Riku and brought down Xemnas in Keyblade combat. So it seems like the Xehanorts will put up a decent final boss fight for the whole series. Then Dream Drop Distance came out and decided to kick us in the face. At the end of the game, Riku arrives at the world that never was to save Sora. They're attempting to turn Sora into a new vessel, and Riku's just not having any of that. Before this can happen, a battle takes place between Riku and young Xehanort, acting as Dream Drop Distance's final battle. For the most part, the battle is pretty decent, taking place in this beautiful arena with the sands of time floating around in the background, and it's just a 1 versus 1 battle. It's pretty standard Keyblade combat. That is, until you get him down to his last bit of HP and he decides to rewind time.
Yeah, time's done.
Xehanort then makes his way to the center of the arena where he begins to start healing himself. This clock will appear with its own set of HP to deal with, and young Xehanort will send out clones to protect the clock from receiving any damage. If you fail to destroy the clock before it can be finished, then you're totally screwed, as young Xehanort will reset the battle as if nothing happened. All that work you just did to clear him out doesn't matter. You'll just have to do it again this time and just be faster about it. I've never been a fan of video games where bosses are just able to heal themselves. I always thought of it as some type of cheating, but this right here? Rewinding time to the start of the battle as if nothing happened? Absolute mental illness as a boss design. In Kingdom Hearts 1, Sora will spend a bit of his time exploring the seas with Ariel. During his time in The Little Mermaid, Sora will have 2 battles against Ursula. The first battle requires him to throw magic inside of a cauldron in order to stun her, a good balance between using magic and attacking. Then there's her second form. Using the power of the trident that she has stolen, Ursula is now claiming herself to be the ruler of the seas. She's grown massively in size, and now the only way to damage her is by slapping her right in the face. The thing that makes this battle so annoying is the amount of attacks she can send out at a time. Outside of being able to blow bubbles and shoot lasers lasers out of her mouth, lightning is constantly raining from the sky. Or sea? Whatever. They often track Sora's location and will appear above him no matter where he goes, making it so Sora will need to constantly be moving to avoid getting hit. These lightning strikes also do a ton of damage, often killing Sora in 2 hits on harder difficulties. You need to keep going back and forth between her face and some distant space. If you're able to get under the rolls under her neck and the back, it kinda acts as like a safe location for constant combos. But this is also Atlantica, a world where Sora loses a lot of his valuable abilities, like guarding. This boss is just extra annoying because she just does not calm down. Finally beating her is such an exhaling experience because you're finally done with it. There's a reason why people look at Atlantica with such a side eye. I'm not talking about Kingdom Hearts 2 though.
Swim this way, we'll dance and we'll play, but it's very easy, come on in, just take a jump and shake a fan.
In Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, Sora and Riku will work together to take on tons of Dream Eaters. With Sora and Riku having their own campaigns, they each come with their own set of bosses. But then there's one boss that decides to give both of our heroes trouble, and that is the Spelican. It first appears in Traverse Town as part of the World Ends With You cast's fatal mission, eventually disappearing into the Symphony of Sorcery, where Sora catches up to it for their final encounter. Overall, this world has a gorgeous dream aesthetic that goes great with the rest of the game's theme. For this fight, Sora begins to chase the Spelican by using flow motion on some stars. You're chasing the Spelican as fast as you can, but he has the power to hinder your progress. After catching up, the arena will appear while the Spelican will continue to run from Sora. He's constantly teleporting around the map. And then there are these rocks everywhere, occasionally blocking the player's perspective. This little space is not enough for this boss fight, especially for those who played on the original 3DS version. Since the boss is constantly moving, eventually he'll get bored and go back to the first phase of the fight, where again, you'll need to chase him down in order to get back to the neutral arena. It's another one of those boss fights that will set you back tons of time if you aren't fast enough. It felt good to finally beat this bird because I was finally happy I was never going to see him again.
Turkey, turkey, turkey!
While Kingdom Hearts 2 is my personal favorite in the series, it is not exempt from having incredibly dookie boss battles. Let's take a look at the one in Port Royal. Upon your first visit, you battle Captain Barbossa alongside a Heartless inside of a dark cave. It's a pretty dope boss battle where Sora needs to wander in the darkness to find his foes, and finally catching them will illuminate the room where Sora can finally lay hands on them. Really a big fan of this battle. But then we come back to this world for its second visit to experience a new boss, and we were instead given the Grim Reaper. Luke's sword summons this Heartless to attack Sora and his friends, and your first encounter with this boss is pretty easy. He's just another giant Heartless boss for Sora to beat up a little bit. In your second encounter, the Grim Reaper is directly attached to the medallions of the chest.
I'm afraid you're actually quite dead.
Not buying it.
Get to gold!
In this battle, Sora will need to run around the arena and collect 882 gold coin pieces and put them back inside of the chest. Until then, the Grim Reaper will not take any damage. The thing that makes this fight so buns is that it takes every single medallion for it to work. They're incredibly small, and it's often where I'm just missing one hiding off in the corner. Not only that, but the boss can attack Sora and the chest, knocking the gold coins into a bunch of different directions. The idea is to use magic to keep the Grim Reaper in place, but then again, you'll need to keep a watch on that magic meter. It's just a bunch of micromanaging for the chests, the Sora, your MP, the enemy's HP. It's not too bad, but it's definitely one of those battles I dread when I come back to this world. Especially after I love that Barbossa battle so much. What a shame. Bringing it back to Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance, another boss really grinds my gears. In general, Kingdom Hearts secret bosses are supposed to be the hardest in the game. They are usually where players are put to the test and sent to the brink of their abilities. Every item, level up, gear upgrade, and Keyblade obtained is to get ready for this moment. As both Sora and Riku, players can head to the Fountain Plaza in Traverse Town. Here, they'll be greeted by Julius, an obscure Disney character that originates from the animated short film Runaway Brain. It shares a striking resemblance to Pete due to its facial structure, but this fight is incredibly aggressive. He comes out of the sewer and just begins to attack. Although unlike the Spelican, this is just another boss fight that is way too big for the arena available to him. A lot of this fight has a lot to do with controlling the camera, and since Julius is so hyper aggressive, he'll jump and close the distance between you and him immediately. You'll be spending a majority of this fight running away. Like with most Dream Drop Distance enemies, Julius can be obliterated by using the balloon spell. Just set this up and run away. Julius is so big, he'll eventually run into it on his own, causing tons of damage. There's no real challenge with this fight with Balloon, making it super easy and just something to get through. While secret bosses are usually supposed to push the player, this one is just another boss to check off a long list to clear. Nothing too special here.
Was it worth it?
I remember years ago I made a worst Kingdom Hearts boss battles video, and I mean years, like this was long before Kingdom Hearts 3 was even going to release. I don't remember which bosses I included in that video since it was such a long time ago. But let me tell you, I do remember including Leechgrave in that list, and it's the only one I remember, which I feel like speaks volumes upon itself. In Kingdom Hearts 358 Days Over 2, Roxas will face off against the Leechgrave in Halloween Town. It's made up of this giant middle coffin with thorns sticking out of the top. Truthfully, the design of this thing is astounding. I really like how spooky it looks. I really like how spooky it looks while also maintaining the Heartless emblem right at the center. You're able to directly attack the middle coffin, but only for a while until the tentacles start coming for you. In order to attack the coffin directly, you need to run around and take out each of these claws. Once the claws are down, Roxas can push and start to get some real damage in the middle. The annoyance here has a lot to do with how much time this battle will actually take you. You'll be spending a majority of your time flying around and hitting those tentacles, which only have a few attacks, some of which are fatal if you aren't careful. And they often move around, making it even more annoying to hit them all. You'll just be doing the same repetitive action again and again until its HP reaches 0. It's not even a challenging fight either, it's just one that just takes so long. You could probably leave and do something else while this is happening, to be honest. Like Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix, Kingdom Hearts 3 Remind added tons of new boss battles for Sora to try out. In this case, Riku is taking control of Sora playing a video game. This time, the 13 battles are built around the new Organization 13, the main antagonist of this entry. While Data Luke Sword has been in Kingdom Hearts 2, his Data version in Remind just hurts me the most. This battle is very similar to the old version, as Sora will need to beat him in a card game in order to progress. In this entire fight, Sora will need to wait for an opening to attack. At least with a lot of the other Data battles, Sora can push forward and be aggressive towards his opponents. For Data Luke Sword, being aggressive is punished, which goes against everything that the game has built up to this point. He'll leave up cards for Sora to find with his face on them. If you accidentally turn or hit a card that isn't correct, it will explode in Sora's face. You both lose HP and time as part of that mistake. You'll have to be extra careful to hit the correct cards exclusively.
Is this your turn?
No.
This?
No.
This?
No.
This?
No.
I remember having to take off some of Sora's attacks because I was too fast for the cards and would accidentally hit the wrong one. Then there's his desperation move where he summons cards all around Sora in the arena. You need to frantically run around to try and get the right card or else he'll attack. It's happened to me so many times where I finally see the card I need to hit, but then I finally get there and it turns last second and I get punished. You cannot attack your way out of the situation. Data Luke Sword makes you sit there and think. And I'm a Kingdom Hearts fan. I am not built with thinking compatibilities in mind. I just want to hit the X button and win. In all seriousness though, I hate this battle.
Time to button mash!
Now, I hated Data Luke's sword because he was constantly running around and making Sora chase after him. See, that's fine and dandy since at least this fight is on solid ground. Jumping back into Days, this is one of the worst boss battles of all time. After clearing out a good chunk of the Neverland world as Roxas, you'll need to take out the Ruler of the Sky, which is this giant flying heartless enemy that is carrying a giant treasure chest on its body. Although the biggest issue with this battle is that you're going to be spending a majority of it flying in the air. The Ruler of the Sky is constantly moving, making it so hard for Roxas to land a successful combo.
Oh, get him, get him, get him, get him, get him!
For the most part, a lot of this battle is doing chip damage until the battle is over. He has over 6 bars of HP with Roxas doing so little with every hit. This is the ultimate case of a boss battle not being fun in the slightest. The Ruler of the Sky can also go underwater and teleport to another location around the map. Now you gotta go spend 30 years chasing after him to do it all over again. There's no skill ceiling here, and it's not even a difficult fight. I just really don't ever want to have to do this again. Just looking at it is giving me vivid flashbacks. Easily one of the most annoying battles in the series, but not the most annoying. Do you remember what I said earlier about Julius? How this enemy is a secret boss of a Kingdom Hearts game, and how secret bosses are typically the most difficult and really push players past their limits? The secret boss in Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep is one of the series' most offensive. I put the mysterious figure in my 10 hardest Kingdom Hearts boss battles, because I really do believe that he's incredibly tough. But I also think that he is also incredibly stupid. Oh, I hate fighting this man. Unlike most bosses in the series, mysterious figure just attacks in the way he feels like it. With like a million moves at his disposal, he can take away your command deck, suck the HP right out of your playable character, and this is just another one of those small screen situations where the game is designed to accommodate for these small screens. But even when it's blown up for the remakes, there's just not enough room to do what you need to do. I've talked about how this battle is so much easier with Ven and Aqua in my previous video. They just have the ability to properly dodge, unlike Terra. Terra players need to get a medal for clearing this out legitimately, because oh my god. Not only that, but this battle gets instantly removed of any challenge by using the Thunder Surge exploit. You can just spam surge attacks against the mysterious figure and he just folds. Similar to Julius and Balloon in Dream Drop Distance, mysterious figure just gets bodied if the player just spams the correct attack. Funny enough, it's later revealed that this character is young Xehanort, which is another boss battle on this list that happens later in the series. They just suck so bad.
Isn't there anyone else who can do this?
I never feel truly satisfied after clearing this battle either. It takes what I dislike about every Kingdom Hearts battle and just puts it all together. And the worst part is I wonder if the development team thinks they cooked with this one. You know, secret boss, like let's make it super tough. And they did it for all the wrong reasons. And that is why the mysterious figure is the worst Kingdom Hearts boss battle in the series.
Welcome to the Losers Club, man!
Evidently, we're never playing it again.
Of course, I can only speak from my own personal trauma in the series. I know everybody got that one boss that they cannot stand, and every time you see them, you're reminded of their power, or awfulness. In this case, awfulness. If you haven't already, tell me your worst boss in the comments section. Maybe when Kingdom Hearts 4 releases, I can create an entirely new list with those enemies as well. Hopefully they're all fire, so I don't have to worry about that. Thank you all so much for watching. Please be sure to comment, like, subscribe, and stay awesome.